guys, and welcome back to another episode of Battlefield 4 in Detail, where we take a closer look at the class setups, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down the Engineer class. So let's get started. Now in Battlefield 4, the Engineer's structure and role has hardly been changed. One of its biggest, most noticeable changes is to do with its weapon setup, so let's begin with that. In Battlefield 3, the designated weapons for the Engineer class were the carbines, weapons like the AK-74U, the M4, the ACWR and the A91. Now the carbine rifles in Battlefield 4 will be available to all classes in the game, just like the designated marksman rifles we spoke about in the previous video. Now to replace the carbines for the Engineer class, in Battlefield 4 the PDWs will become the dedicated weapons for that class. So this means the Engineer class will have the carbine rifles, the PDWs, the shotguns and the designated marksman rifles all available in its armoury. So we'll no longer see the PDWs available to all the classes in the game. Instead they've been replaced by the carbine rifles and the designated marksman rifles. Whether or not this will balance out the classes better, we're yet to find out. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Now some of the new weapons available to the Engineer class include the AK-5C, which we first saw in the Angry Seas demo at E3. Now this is a Swedish carbine used by the Swedish military, and being a carbine it means it falls under the all kits category, which means it will be able to be used by all of the classes in the game. Now more specifically for the Engineer class in the PDW section we do have the CZ3A1, or the CZ Scorpion Evo, as you may have already heard of it. Now this weapon has never been featured in Battlefield before, but it has been seen in the likes of Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and other games along those lines. Now this weapon is made by the Czech Republic, and it is one of quite a few new Czech Republic based weapons in the game that will be used by the Chinese faction. Now moving on to the customization available to the dedicated weapons in the Engineer class, the PDWs. And this is broken down into optics, accessory, barrel and underbarrel. Now I'm assuming in the underbarrel section there won't be the option for the PDWs of things like the M26 MAS and the M320. I'm assuming accessories like your foregrip and your angled foregrip may fall under this underbarrel customization section. Now currently I'm unsure whether or not the PDWs will have the option of canted sights available to them. So of course you could have your scope, your red dot sight or your EOTech, your ACOG and your canted iron sights on the weapon at the same time. Whether or not this is available for the smaller PDWs, I am unsure yet. Now the gadgets available to the Engineer class have changed very little since Battlefield 3. The Engineers will still be able to use mines, repair tools and some type of launcher. Now the biggest change to the gadgets is the fact that the gadget slots are no longer tied down. Whilst in Battlefield 3 you had the option of either mines or the repair tool and some type of launcher, in Battlefield 4 there is no regulation to which gadgets you have in which slot. So this means you could take mines and the repair tool into battle and not actually take a launcher with you. And there has actually been some changes to the launchers available to this class. We will still see the small and the RPG available as the unguided launcher, and we will see the Stinger and the Igla available as the anti-aircraft launcher. But for the all-vehicle rocket launcher, which was the Javelin in Battlefield 3, this is now being replaced with the MBT Law, which is still a guided launcher, but it's very much like the tow launcher we saw in Battlefield 3 on the bipods, in the fact that you have to lock onto your target and stay locked onto it after you fired until the missile hits it to achieve your hit, which is very similar to the launchers we saw in Bad Company 2. So this isn't a fire and forget style launcher like the Javelin that we see in Battlefield 3. And that rounds up all the information that I currently have available to tell you guys about the Engineer class. Now in the comment section below, it's down to you guys. You can now decide which class I break down next. We can either look at the support class or the recon class, so tell me in the comments below. And that's it for this week's episode, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please give me a like and a comment. It does help me out so much. And in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.